Welcome guys, this is Casey with This Old Greenhouse Homestead, and I've taken a little bit of break. I've been off here for another, 4 or 5 days, and I thought I'd come back and touch base with you guys. It has been a really long week, stressful week, and it ended with a lovely crick in my neck. So I woke up this morning and turned my head to the side, and there it was. Y'all know how that is. And so I've been kind of just hanging out inside the house today, which is not my funnest thing to do. I like to be outside. I tried to go out once and it said no. So I rested a little bit, which I'm not real good at, my husband will tell you. But I am going to walk out for just a little bit because I really wanted to give you guys an update of things that are going on around here, things that are popping up out of the ground, the greenhouse. And so I'll try to go out here for a few minutes while there's nobody home and tell me what to do. So let's go check it out. It's 2 o'clock. It's 56 degrees. We're supposed to have a cold front come this weekend. I think 42 is the high tomorrow. So that's going to feel pretty chilly because it's been in the 60s the last week, which has been really good. Y'all notice I can barely turn my head without pain. So I would appreciate any prayers or tips on how to get rid of these things or prevent them. So here are my tomatoes, and boy, they are growing like weeds. They're growing so fast. These ones that I transplanted into these bigger pots, they're just taking off. Look at that. They look pretty good overall. I don't notice anything stressed about them. These need to be repotted. They're still in the smaller pots. I brought my broccoli over here, and honestly, I think it is just thriving so wonderfully. My celery is still pretty little. It may need to be repotted as well pretty soon. These are my petunias. I haven't got a chance to repot them yet, but I've got to get these. But I'll show you guys the ones that I did repot because they're looking really good. Check this out. Oh man, they are going to be nice, and I'm going to have a lot of petunias to use to decorate out front. I look forward to landscaping that out front, and when I do, I'll take you guys along as I do it because we'll be outside and it's just going to be pretty days and spring-like, and the sun's gonna be shining hopefully, and it'll cheer everybody up. I went to have my car serviced last week. I know this really doesn't have anything to do with this, but as I was leaving, I went down like one of these streets on kind of a little back road, and I turned into like this parking lot that had a humongous store called Old World Pottery. I think I'm saying that right. Oh my goodness, the amount of pots and stuff they had there for really good deals, like really big stuff. So one day me and my husband are going to go back over there because they are pretty heavy and get some stuff to put out front in some of my beds and stuff, because y'all know I have those rock beds and I can just set those down in it, and I'll walk up there and show you guys in a minute kind of what they look like and maybe my dream of what I kind of want to do. But I also want to show you guys the stuff that's coming up in my flower garden. I've kind of got a blank canvas at the moment. Everything's still looking very wintry. Oh, and Seth brought me something home new that I planted back there. I didn't get to share that with you guys yet either, just because of the craziness last week. I didn't film, but it's something different that I've never grown before. My coreopsis there, they've not done anything yet, but they do have green leaves. And then my daylilies, they're starting to come back. Look at that. Look at all those new ones coming up. I've got some over here too. These are all that my mom has given me, and I could probably even separate these and start going down the fence with them, because I do have some over here that are coming up and sprouting. All of my daffodils are coming up all the way through here, and I need to look over here and see if my tulips are coming up. Oh my goodness, look at that, y'all. Wow. Okay. I was wondering if it was just too early. It's February 16th. Now I don't see any of these coming up yet that I have along the, oh, I do. I see one right there. Things are moving along. Spring is on the way, and that makes my heart very happy. Let me show you guys what Seth brought me home from a job site. Now I can't tell you guys what variety this is because Seth couldn't either. He just brought it home and he said, "Here, Mama." Couldn't get any other information out of him. Look at that. Y'all know what this is? Well, it looks like a creepy vine at the moment, especially when it's like dreary outside and you look out the window and you see this deadish looking thing. It looks like something you'd see in a horror movie, but it's a grapevine. And the thing about it is is I've never grown grapes before, but the last 2 years I've always said, oh, I want to get a grapevine and put it up somewhere, and I just was too busy doing other things and never went to do it and never went to research anything about it. And I'm still like a lost ball in high weeds at the moment trying to figure this thing out because I really don't know what I'm doing. I got on a local Facebook group and I asked about it, and they told me kind of what to do with it. My husband and I planted it like they told us to do, and they told us not to prune it right now because it's been transplanted and we want to let it kind of recover. So I really don't know anything else about this. The guy that gave it to Seth said he's had it in his yard since the 1970s. So that is all I know. That is all Seth told me. He said it'll probably produce a little bit this year, but the second year it will just be full of grapes. And he said they're delicious. So I am pretty excited about it. Hopefully it will take off and I've not killed it and I can somewhat get it back to life again. If y'all have any tips on grapevines, I would greatly appreciate it. I mean, I've just been asking people, trying to get opinions and ideas and stuff. I know that it needs to be in a full sun area. I do know that. And before long, I've got to start cutting my monkey grass back because I want new growth. I started with those, but I didn't get to those yet. And also my molly grass. I've also got to cut it back. And last year, Seth and I used like an electric hedge clipper, which was so much easier because we used to do it by hand with scissors. But obviously this thing is like razor sharp, and that ain't happening this year. So I'm going to borrow my neighbor's hedge clipper or go purchase one. These are the areas I'm wanting to stick down some pots in. Now, we redid all this when we did our porch railing, but I want to get this probably out of here because it's kind of broken and stuff, and maybe get a new pot here. And we're just gonna set nice pretty pottery in here and put all my lovely annuals that I'm growing in the greenhouse. And this side too. That's my outdoor update at the moment, as much as I can do with my neck the way it is. And it's fixing to turn off cold, so I gotta come in here and clean my stove. We're supposed to be in the 20s tonight. While I'm in here, I'm gonna fill up a few of these flower trays. Now this tray right here is a tray of marigolds, and I've noticed some did not pop up, so I think I'm gonna go get some seeds and plop them in these ones that didn't produce anything. And if y'all know, I like fish, and so I had like a little thing of duckweed that I was growing. I do aquatic plants as well. I've got a whole bunch in the basement. Actually, I'll just take you in there and show you. Here's my aquarium. This is a 75-gallon, and it has mostly guppies because I love live bears. It has plecos, which they have babies in here, and snails, and they have babies. So I like everything that just kind of breeds. I think it's really fun to come in here and see the new life. And you can see the little fish. There's little ones swimming around in here. And I get all kinds of colors just popping out of these because I just put all kinds of different fancy guppies together. Y'all can see the little babies. Look at them. Now, what I do in my aquarium is I keep a lot of stuff growing like this really thickly. That way the babies can hide and have a chance of survival, because with guppies, if they can fit it in their mouth, they're gonna eat it. And those little babies are super tiny after they're born. So they've got a lot of little places to hide. I've got water sprite, lutea, I've got java fern, I've got vallisneria, and on top of here, my duckweed. Now look at that. This stuff has multiplied like crazy. And I first bought like a little pack of it in about a thing that big, and it was $5. So I have so much now that I've grown over the winter. And what's really cool about it is if you look at the bottom of it, check out all of those little roots coming down. All the babies can swim in those, and they can safely get food, which is really cool. But what I've been doing is taking it out to the greenhouse because it just really fills up in here so thick, and I've just got a lot of it. So I've started taking it out to the greenhouse. So I may get me like a little pottery dish over there and put a few fish in it and my duckweed. Now I used to have goldfish and they love this stuff. But I also put a few little fish in there too. Look at them swimming around. Pretty cool. And I've got pothos. The root system of pothos, they grow really well in water. And that helps keep this water free of like nitrates and stuff like that. And the fish like swimming in it. So it's pretty fun, but I thought I'd get something really cool to do that with. And with all the extra, I have people like locally, they'll ask for this stuff because if you want to go buy it, it's like really expensive at our local aquarium store. a lot of my aquatic plants I keep growing around. I've got some in that bucket right there, which do fine. I just keep it full of water. I put fish water in it, and they kind of thrive off the fish poop. But I'm gonna go see if I can find my seeds. They should be in the basement somewhere. Let's go look. I know I had marigold seeds. What did I do with them? Oh, wait a minute. I do. These are the ones that I harvested off of the very end bed this past summer. They were some of my more compact marigolds, and they were some I had got from Baker's Creek. They were orange and yellow on the same flower, which was really pretty, the two-tone. And I'm just gonna plop it down right on top of the soil. I'm just gonna put one and try to germinate it. And then I'll top it with a little bit of soil. Now I think I'm gonna decorate with these up front too. I'm gonna definitely have petunias and marigolds that I'm gonna use. And then my zinnias and a lot of my wildflowers will be growing back here in my flower garden. I call it my flower garden, my pollinator garden, because y'all, it's just so pretty in the spring and summer. The butterflies, the hummingbirds, the bees, they're just everywhere, and it's a sight to see. It's pretty. Y'all can look in some of my previous videos, but it just, I don't know, it just makes my heart so happy to see them come back again and just anticipate them, and I enjoy them. I can't say enough how much I enjoy them. That's why I get on here and show you guys, because I know some of y'all enjoy them too, or aren't able to get out and do this, so I hope that it brings joy to y'all. Now I'm going to put a little bit of soil in here so I can top those seeds. Alright, so I'm taking a couple of these pots that are filled with the petunias, and I basically just broadcasted the seeds in there, which what that means is on the back of a seed packet, it'll say maybe 1 every 6 inches or something like that. So literally 1 seed. Sometimes I will take quite a few seeds, because on certain flower seeds and other things, the seeds are super, super tiny. So it's hard just to put 1 per cell, 1 per pot. And so I'll put several. Also, that guarantees that something in there is going to germinate, because some seeds might not germinate for whatever reason. They might get washed away. And that way you can pick out some of the extras. You can either, like I do, repot them, or toss them if they're super tiny. Here's the case of one of the pots that I broadcasted in, and you can see here's a super tiny one and here's a big one. That's because the smaller ones are competing with these big ones, and they just don't have enough space to grow. So at some point you're either going to lose some of the extras, or you can repot them. A lot of times I have so many seeds that I can afford to do that with them, but sometimes if you buy them in the store and in a seed packet, you might not get very many in a pack at all. So you want to plant, 1 per cell or 2 per cell. That way, you're not wasting any of the seeds. I just pulled one of these big ones up, and I've put it down in this pot, and I'll have 1 flower in here that's going to continue to be able to grow good, because it is in its own space now. All right, guys, I think I'm headed back in, but I want to show you actually some daffodils that are blooming right now, which I thought was pretty early for February 16th. Now look at all the wood we've burned. We've had all this filled up at the beginning of the season, and we have burned quite a bit. I don't know that we're gonna get through all of it this winter. Hopefully it'll be warm the rest of the winter. Aren't they so pretty, y'all? I just love the daffodils. I want to show you guys one more thing that I saw on my walk yesterday. Popped up on the ground, and it's a native flower we have here, and it's so pretty. I haven't seen it before here, not on our property anyways. Look at this, y'all. That is a crocus. These grow a lot of times around here in the Smoky Mountains, which are just a rock's throw distance away from here. We're right at the foothills here of the Smokies. They're so pretty.